All right, we're not doing an intro. We're going. Um, there's there's not a lot of good things I have to say, and when I don't have good things to say, I can't imagine anybody on this podcast has good things to say about the Toronto Blue Jays right now. Um, Welcome back to the flight deck. I think it's gonna be a pretty quick episode today, boys. I'm not gonna lie to you. It should have been good. They won the first series of this week, and like if we would have just went based on that and we would have recorded 2 days ago, I think this would have been a much different podcast. They won, what was it, 5 of 6 coming into it, and 7 of 9, I think, something like that.
Yeah,
That would have been great. Could have easily walked away with a real happy podcast, but the last 2 days have been fucking brutal to watch.
To say the least, the last 2 days have showed us the Orioles are here.
We are not.
The Jays are like here.
Yeah,
the
might be generous.
The gap is wide.
The Orioles in 2021, what was their record? They were 80 something, maybe. No,
they were like right around 500.
I think you're thinking of 22.
Or no, 22 they were 500.
21 they were 52.
21 they were 52 and 110.
Yes.
We were 91 and 71.
Yes, in 2022 the Orioles were 83 and 79.
That was 3 seasons ago.
Mm-hmm.
3 seasons. We haven't lost anyone that matters.
Have we brought up
Marcus
anyone
Semien.
other than Davis?
Consistent contribution wise, because you've had your spurts of your Horowitzes.
No, have we brought out anyone that plays?
No.
Who do they have from 2022? Santander, from Mountcastle, Mullins.
Adley came up in 22.
What's his nuts that hit the homer in the first game?
Homer in the first game. Hayes,
thank you.
And then
he didn't play though.
In 21?
Not much. He was a bench player.
Yeah, he was still on the team. Technically John Means, although he's going for Tommy John, so he's not playing again this year.
Okay, but my point is we've developed one player in 3 years.
Yeah,
and
they've developed
an entire organization.
Yes. We have gone completely the opposite direction of what the Orioles have.
Yeah.
And
because we don't have a Connor Norby or a Cade. They're calling up another guy today. Cade Povich, who's a lefty pitcher.
Fantastic. Fantastic. I
can't wait till he just had 2 guys to go down.
Yeah, Means and Wells.
We can't even say we're missing guys because they are too.
Mm-hmm.
The only person we're missing is Alec Manoah.
Jordan.
And
Yariel. But
not enough to matter. I was talking about this today. Our bullpen is really bad, but we're really not missing anyone. It's essentially the same names that were trotting out last year. That was one of the better bullpens in the majors.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just bad.
Also, the Orioles are doing this without in 2020, the guy who in 2021 was their best player.
Mm-hmm.
Cedric Mullins is shit now.
He's awful.
He's terrible now. And they're better.
Don't have their closer, who is arguably the best in the league.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter against them. We haven't even made it close enough to bring him in. Have we seen Cano in this series?
Yeah, we did. We saw him in game 1.
Get him some work inning, I guess?
I think it was at a point in time where
because it was 7-2.
I think it was 5.
At one point, it was 7-1.
It was 5-2 when he came in, I'm pretty sure. So, but
it's just I don't know what I don't know what to complain about at this point. The offense is either going to score 14 runs or they're going to score none.
Mm-hmm.
The pitching is either going to give up 1 run and we're going to lose 1-0, or they're going to give up 19. There's no consistency on this team. There's nothing I feel good about that isn't wearing glasses. And maybe Barrios. But outside of that, I feel like shit about everyone on this team. Vlad. Sorry. Let's throw Vlad in that mix too. Vlad looks great. We'll talk about him in a minute.
Jimmy.
It's just bad. Jimmy hasn't looked great lately either. Jimmy pulled a Jordan the other day. He got the save, but he still gave up a run and another double.
I still feel fine about Jimmy, but yes.
Yeah. But guys, we have a couple milestones that happened and they weren't done by the Jays. We got in the back-to-back series. Someone has hit the ball into the flight deck.
Oh, good.
Ryan Reynolds and our father, Ryan Mountcastle.
I'm so sick of seeing Ryan Mountcastle in Toronto.
I mean,
I'm
he's on my fantasy team, so I love it.
one actual milestone that we hit just to try and put a positive on this. Kevin Gosman had I think it was his 500 strikeout the other day.
Yeah.
Cool. Great.
Also,
That outing stunk.
Yeah, it was bad.
There's no way he only has 500 strikeouts.
I thought it said 5. I could be maybe
He had
it was
over
6.
200
Maybe it was 8.
last year.
No, you know what? It might have been 8. I don't know. He hit a milestone. Either way, it didn't matter. And I went to that game to get the bobblehead, strictly to get the bobblehead because I had to go play ball. And I left and listened to it on the way back. And the entire time they were talking about how, oh, he's really held the top of the order in check. I don't know if you guys watched that game at all. All 3 of them hit laser beams in every at bat they had. They just were shy of the warning track.
Mm-hmm.
It's like he did not hold anyone in check that day. And like this is another year where we've seen our number 1 starter go from being an ace level guy to lucky to be our 5 guy at this point.
But we didn't get the opening day curse, which is
no, you're right, because he didn't get to start opening.
He didn't get to start opening day.
I don't know what to do anymore.
Oh,
I do.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead, buddy.
I think within this week, we need to see Spencer Horowitz and Elvis Martinez on the Major League roster.
Yes. And, not or. I don't know if you said or. I think you said and. Yeah, definitely and.
Like if
Ernie Clement is a fine player,
I'm
but
done
he's not worth it right now.
I'm done with Ernie.
I looked it up today. Cav still has options left. I think he makes the most sense to send down.
If you're not trying to lose a guy,
he also hasn't played in a week either.
Yeah.
Like he's played 1 game at the last.
He had
week.
2 great games and then 2 really bad games, and then it's like, yeah, back down, dude.
And he disappeared.
What's his role right now?
I don't know. What's either of their roles? Either one of them. I don't trust either one of them to be in the lineup right now. Like
they're in the role.
IKF, and Davis can both play infield and outfield competently.
Mm-hmm.
You got to do something. Like IKF's been fine, but I think you bring Elvis up and stick him at 2 and give him, I don't know, at least a couple weeks run and see what happens.
Yeah,
run out the lineup you've been running out with Vladdy at 3, put Horowitz at 1, and DH Vogelbach.
I'm glad you brought that up.
You're not getting rid of Turner right now.
No, but
because of the salary.
His ass on the bench for them.
Yeah. The benefit too, originally with Ernie was that he could play third base and that was going to be his spot. You don't need that anymore because Vlad in the 2 games that he's played third has looked solid. He picks up ground balls pretty awkwardly.
Very
but
casually.
like he's making the play and he's sending missiles.
Yeah.
Like you're not beating that arm. So let Vlad play third for a while, let that run out for a bit. And you don't need Ernie or Cav. I love Cav, but he's not playing a role in this team anymore. If he's got options, let him figure it out so you're not losing a guy like Ernie if you really want to protect an asset.
Of all the days to be a Cavan Biggio fan, that game that they played for 14 innings was not the day.
No.
He came up 3 times with a chance to win the game.
Yep. And struck out.
Struck out every time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he swung.
Nope. He just stuck out looking at the one he should have just let. It was bases loaded. The ball was in his legs and he moved. I'm like, just wear it, dude. You're not hitting today. Just wear it. No, couldn't even do that.
He didn't even start that game either. That's the fuck part.
No. It's it's bad.
It's a mess.
When we're moving Vlad across the diamond to play third so that we can get Daniel Vogelbach in the fucking lineup.
Daniel Vogelbach, who's to his credit,
he's been fine
hitting fucking missiles lately. But like,
you want us a game?
I think someone put it plainly.
That's a problem.
Someone put it plainly. The Blue Jays payroll is $226 million. But we're trotting out Daniel Vogelbach and current form Justin Turner as regulars.
If Joey Votto didn't trip on a bat, Daniel Vogelbach probably wouldn't even have made the team.
Yeah.
And now he's our 4 stick.
Debatable timeline wise,
maybe. But I don't know if you make that risk if you know Joey can come up like late April. Right? Like you might not spend it on that contract. Like there's nothing good to talk about right now other than Vlad.
Yeah, Vlad is
we've beat shit teams. That's it. And then we play a team that is remotely good, and it's a nightmare.
Yeah, they went 8-5 in their what was supposed to be soft part of their schedule.
Yeah, lost to Detroit.
Lost to 3 out of 4 to fucking Detroit. Like
outside of that Detroit series, they did their job. Like they looked good in all the series that they played. There's not much you can do outside of that. They walked all over the White Sox, which is what you wanted to see from them. They were good enough against Pittsburgh. Like they battled in the 2 wins, and they just played like shit in the loss. But to come into Baltimore like on a high like that and just get absolutely shit kicked for 2 straight games doesn't feel good. I can tell you that much. I don't know where to put this team anymore, because even the guys that you're like the hopeful trade pieces at the deadline, they're starting to scuffle.
You say Kikuchi.
Kikuchi's on a bit of a down right now. He's had 2 of his worst starts of the year in back-to-back games.
Turner is
hitting $110 over the last like month and a half.
Jordan's hurt. Jano is like
Jimmy's given up runs in his last 2 outings.
Jano's your only saving grace at this point if you're trading somebody. But
and Jano's still kind of, he's not hitting well, but he's not posting the 1 dot that he had before.
Well, yeah, but
which is expected, but he's not really hitting homers.
Mm-hmm.
And like all of the pieces that like would have fetched you big prices are now like, well, we can trade them, but what are we getting?
Well, yeah, and then I guess we can bring it up now. Ross Atkins talked with like on MLB Network Radio, and he's like, it doesn't make sense for us to trade Vlad or Bo.
No.
Just like,
which I agree with a little bit.
And they're trying to get extensions, but they've been saying this shit for 3 years.
Mm-hmm. Apparently,
get one of them done, and then a lot of people will shut up.
Mm-hmm. Like, apparently, the Vlad extension is being talked about a lot more than the Bo one. I think I read.
I mean,
which I think is right. I think you should extend Vlad. I don't really care if you extend Bo.
I think Bo is a much more. I think Vlad is the better player. I think Bo is the easier piece to trade.
Mm-hmm. He's a shortstop.
Like,
it's easier to
trade.
He's
a shortstop.
So everyone's going to be looking for something like that.
And he could slide to second, or if God forbid you stick him at third.
Yeah.
But Vlad is a corner, and Vlad is a corner-ish and a DH.
I will say one positive thing from yesterday is that George looked really good. And I've harped on George a lot. George is playing way better lately.
He pulled the ball in the air.
And even the ball he's putting the other way are like line drives. Like he's hitting the ball well right now. So I'll give him that. Still got a long way to go, but at least he's coming around. So that's one minor positive thing you can look at.
If this season has taught me one thing, and I know it's been beaten to death, I can't. I'm never watching spring training ever again.
No, it doesn't mean
it's a bold-faced lie in my face.
Yeah, it doesn't mean it.
Like, don't tell me anything about spring training. Like, I'm like, because
if you watch spring training, I would have said Bowden Francis is competing for an ace spot on this.
I would have said Kevin Kiermaier would be a competent bat. I would have said fucking George Springer would still be the leadoff spot.
He'd have 22 homers by now.
David Schneider would be in AAA.
Yeah. That was an actual conversation we had in the last week.
We had it wasn't like
one of us said that.
I said it, but it was a conversation.
You said it, but we had the conversation about is he in AAA? We had to talk about Eduardo Escobar.
Oh my god,
potentially making the team. Like that's how.
Forgot about that guy.
Yeah. I don't know where he's playing now, but Jesus.
Is Bowden Francis like the most 4A pitcher we've had in a long time?
I think so. Like. Because
I don't think he's got it, man. Like he can prove me wrong if he wants to, but as of right now, I don't think he's got it.
What happened last year? He was
couldn't tell you. It was early. People hadn't really learned much about him yet. Now it's
that trade is still a huge win.
Oh yeah, for sure. Dude, fuck the beginning of that game shows it.
Actually,
Trevor Richards was fantastic.
Trevor Richards, we're allowed to actually say positive things about.
Yeah.
Because he's been good.
Great.
He's been good this year. Brand hates him, but he
still scares the hell out of me, but his numbers are great. I don't get it. It doesn't make sense. But it's fine. He's doing well.
He's doing what he's supposed to be doing.
Rowdy's not even on the Brewers anymore. So he did almost beat us in a game, but whatever.
Single-handedly.
Yeah.
I do want to say, since Connor's wearing it, and I wasn't on last week.
Sure.
Oh, I did give you guys my comment.
And we said it on the pod.
I know I heard that. Since they've come out, I have started to like them more.
Nice.
They are not great on TV.
No.
They're like real bad on TV.
They're nice in person.
Like the Toronto part you can't see.
You can't see it. You can hardly even read the numbers.
Yeah. It's But it is a
Also,
nice jersey,
So
and
not
it looks
not a
cool
fan
at
of
the
that,
game.
but
a
yeah.
random a rant like it's very random and it's like a weird thing that like irks me is certain guys are wearing like the red under the jersey and some are wearing the blue and I'm just like, could y'all pick one as a unit, please?
Yeah.
Just pick one because Jano's like bright red behind the plate and then I see Genesis Cabrera just blue and I'm like,
Yeah.
why? Just pick one.
That's odd.
But yeah, it was.
I thought it was wild that Gosman went with a brand new blue cleats and brand new blue glove to pitch with. Like, I think I'm just way too superstitious to just be like, yeah, new game. Let's just break out brand new stuff. But that's his prerogative, I guess.
Why?
I mean, if you're Gossman this year, do you really have anything to be
Well, his last two
superstitious
starts were
about?
really good, but I guess they were against what,
The
Chicago
White
and
Sox. And I think the White Sox.
Chicago. You're right.
I think you're in Chicago and Chicago.
You're
The same thing with
definitely
Bassett. Bassett was Chicago and Chicago.
Actually, no. One of them was Detroit.
Oh
I
yeah,
think.
Gosman was because he was the television broadcast game.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah. I don't know. There's not much we can say anymore.
Ryan Mountcastle's
As we mentioned,
still our dad.
yeah, Romano's going to the IL with elbow inflammation.
Yep.
Manoah hit the IL with.
He's probably out for the season.
Yeah. What was his? It was also elbow.
It was a
Elbow.
UCL. It was UCL sprain, but then
Sprain.
they were getting a second opinion on it. So
Great. We acquired Ryan Burr.
he's looked.
He didn't do much.
He's looked okay. Like the only thing I knew about him was he had 29 strikeouts and 15 innings in AAA. Like
Apparently his slider's nasty,
so,
but everything else sucks.
He's a pitcher.
He's definitely a pitcher.
He's a body that can throw the ball over the plate.
Well,
Sometimes.
yeah.
Depending on how hard
He's
it
a
gets
body
hit.
for sure.
Like
That's it. That's your 2024 Toronto Blue Jays,
is
man.
that really...
There's nothing to say about this fucking team right now.
Things will change. Like
so
yeah.
fast, and I don't know in what direction.
Just I think the Jays are what 28 and 32 now. So just as a reference, the projected third wild card spot right now is 89 wins. The Jays have to win 61 games. They have to go like 61 and like 40 to get to 89 wins.
That's super doable if you were any good. But I don't think we
they
are.
need a spark.
They need a lot.
Weren't they cold last year when they brought up Davis?
Yes.
Yeah.
And they
like,
rode it.
Can we bring up Davis again?
Or Elvis is hitting bombs. Like that, we don't have it.
Horowitz
has like a
period.
900 OPS.
Let's just have some fun and skip Ricky T's rehab stints. Let's just bring him up. Instead of bringing him up to AAA, let's just bring him up to the major. It can't be worse than watching what we saw yesterday.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Cabrera was used in the third inning, and I'm just like, oh my god.
Which made a little bit of sense for three batters.
Yeah.
I don't know why he got left out there.
Yeah, he got left out there for Adley in Mountcastle, and I'm just like.
And I feel so bad for Bowden because he comes in with two runners on, gives up a tank.
He gives up
2 innings later, gives up another tank, and they just leave him out there to just keep getting his shit pushed in. Like, it's happened to him so many times. It's just like, well, we don't have any arms, so kid, you got to get out there and just get your teeth kicked in for a little bit. Have fun.
How high is too high of an ERA before you need to get sent down? You just look at Bowden Francis. This is like a 13, I think.
It's
bad, like,
man. I don't know. I don't think if you can find a way to get this team on track and consistent, then I don't think the playoffs are that hard to make it to right now. You're what, 6 games back? 5.5 games back of that last spot?
Yeah. Fuck winning right now. Can you just look and play some semblance of fucking baseball? Like, I'm sick of a team scoring 3 runs and being like, all right, game's over. I don't need to watch anymore. Like, God.
I think the bigger number you got to look at right now, it's not games back of the wild card. It's how many teams we'd have to jump.
I think there's 4.
And that's the scarier number. I think there's 4.
Yeah, but they're all also shit right now, other than like the one at the top. So because like the Red Sox and Rays are only like a game ahead of us, if I'm not mistaken.
Let me pull it up. So we have the Rangers who are a half game ahead. the Rays, who are a game and a half.
Hmm.
Red Sox are 2, and the Tigers are 2.5. And then
who's in the 3 spot?
Minnesota at 33 wins.
Minnesota's the one you're chasing.
Minnesota's the one you're chasing. It's fucking 2 teams in the Central. There's 3. If the playoffs started today, there's 3 teams in the Central that are making playoffs in the AL.
Fantastic.
They've been playing better baseball.
I think I saw a stat today. The AL Central has as many teams over 500 as the entire National League.
Great.
Like,
I don't know what to tell you, man. It's nice to sit here and say this front office sucks. They're the reason this team isn't doing what it's doing. They got to get let go. At this point, it doesn't make a fucking difference if they get let go or not. This team is what it is. It's they're either going to find it right now or they're going to get let go in the offseason.
Yeah. And also to the people who are in that trade Vlad and Bo camp and fire Atkins camp, do you really want an interim person handling the trading of Vladimir Guerrero Jr. and or Bo Bichette?
Or handing out a contract?
Handing out a contract.
Tell me the last time a GM was let go mid-season?
I don't think I cannot recall a time that it's happened.
I'm also going to spin zone your thing there, Connor, because I think there is pretty good interim GM.
Oh,
James
Click.
Is he still here?
He's still
Yeah,
here.
I haven't heard his name in like a year.
He's still here, apparently.
Me either, but apparently he's still here. So you've got James Click still. So
yeah.
Also, Mark Shapiro's job is locked in. I think we could stop.
He's done exactly what he's
exactly
been brought in to do.
Mm-hmm.
He was brought in to make money.
And he's made a ton of it. Even with the lack of ticket sales right now, he's still doing a good job.
Honestly, like everything's been a hit. The Renos have been a hit.
Uh-huh.
They've been basically a playoff team for the majority of his time here, whether or not we were successful or not. Like
payroll's gone up.
Seemed to be a hit.
Yeah. Well, he really hasn't done much wrong. Ross Atkins, he could have done more. I think his trades have been great, but his offseason work has been terrible.
He's had some good signings. Like the signings he's made have generally worked out.
Sure.
Turner's not looking good right now.
The IKF signing is fantastic.
Well, like for what he's doing, Kiermaier andElt were 2 of your better players all year. Like they worked out great. Kiermaier not so much now. IKF was amazing. Looks kind of like a bargain at 2 years, 7 or whatever.
Yeah,
2 years,
7 a year.
Yeah, like
that looks like a bargain. Like Yariel looks like it could be a bargain.
Mm-hmm.
The Turner one's currently biting you in the ass, but like as of right now. But
I think he struggles to diagnose what the problem is. But in fairness, so do I.
I think everyone's just putting too much faith in these guys just being these guys again.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what they said all offseason, basically. It's kind of what they said at last year's deadline when, like, the Hicks and Cabrera moves were good.
Yeah.
Young lasted, 2 weeks?
Maybe.
Mm-hmm. I think.
I don't remember the deadline before. I don't think we did anything the year before.
In the amount of Witt and Mitch White and Anthony Basinzak pop. Oh, at the time, those were pretty good.
A lot of, like, what's the saying that they use? Floor
raising.
No. Self-acquisition, something like that. Internal acquisitions, or like basically where your guys just like step it up and it's basically just like acquiring another player anyways. That's kind of what we've been banking on for 3 years.
Yeah.
God, I just went back in my head in the 2021 trade deadline.
Mm-hmm.
Jose Barrios, Brad Hand, and Joaquim Soria. That's
weird.
It's such a.
It's just
because we didn't need bats at the time.
It's really easy to hate on Ross Atkins and what he's done. But if you took this team in the offseason this year, give me 2 moves that you think would have moved the needle enough to make us not this middling team, save for Shohei Ohtani, because they tried. He was going to the Dodgers the entire time. Is there 2 guys out there that you think would have changed this?
I don't think Soto was either a really realistic. They were too far in on Ohtani. Honestly, I like the Turner move at the time. I still do. Yeah, I think it made a lot of sense. I still believe in Turner. I think he's going to turn it around. A Belly or a Chapman at the end of the off season.
I was going to say a Belly as a. I think a Belly in general.
Belly over Kiermaier.
Belly over Kiermaier does so much That's an improvement of damn near over 200 OPS at this point. Like,
I think you're right.
Like, because I was watching the Cubs and White Sox yesterday. Cody Bellinger's OPS is like a high sevens, and I'm like, did you just stick him in center as opposed to Kevin Kiermaier, who was like 520?
Yeah, Rhys Hoskins was another one of our big targets in the offseason. Like, he's been okay.
Yep.
I mentioned Jorge Soler a bunch. I mean,
Soler just hasn't been playing.
Yeah, but he's been.
Hoskins has 10 homers. I guess I'm pretty sure that would lead the team.
Yeah,
I think Varsho was 10.
Varsho was 10. Be tied.
So maybe that helps. Like, I don't know if there's enough like
JD Martinez
options out there in the offseason that would have changed. I don't even think JD's been good, has he?
You couldn't have JD and Turner with it makes sense.
No. Yeah. JD's 792 this year OPS.
So at the end of the day, yeah, it's really easy to say, yeah, he sucked, and I don't disagree. I think he could have done more for this team, but what the fuck was he going to do in this offseason? I don't know if there was enough to make this team better than what it is right now.
It didn't help that this was the offseason where it was the most top-heavy I have ever seen it. It was 3 guys. Well, 2 guys signing, 1 guy trade, and then a bunch of lottery tickets. Like,
yeah. Some of those have hit, like a lot of the smaller ones, but they weren't guys we were going to take a risk on.
All the other big guys, like, they had a question somewhere. Like Soler, what's he going to be? Chapman, what's he going to be?
Bellinger,
He's got 1 good year.
Like,
JD, can he still hold up? Turner, can he still hold up? Like,
Blake, and even on the pitching, Blake Snell, what is he? Jordan Montgomery, what is he? Like,
what's Jordan Hicks as a starter?
Yeah, that was a big one too.
That one's hit. Like,
yeah.
But I don't think this team needed starting pitching going into the offseason.
No, I still don't think we're like super in need of starting pitching. Like, we were super deep going into it, and it's just nothing's worked out this year.
Well, yeah, because 2 guys of their depth options. Well, 1 guy of their options is currently in the bullpen and sucking, and another guy is probably going to miss the rest of the season, and another guy is a guy that was probably only going to give you about 4 innings on a good day, and he's injured right now on rehab.
Yeah,
like,
you're putting a lot of stock into Yariel Rodriguez, but
dude, you're putting a lot in the Yariel bucket right now.
We've also gone through all of this, in not one point in that run there did we mention a reliever, and arguably, I would say the bullpen is a bigger problem than the offense right now. I think we have it's like a bottom 3 bullpen in baseball right now. Like, I'm not saying the offense is good by any means.
What's our OPS rank in baseball?
I can look it up, but I'm pretty sure our bullpen's worse.
Difference is, with the starting rotation and the way they were pitching earlier in the year, the impact of the bullpen is so much less than the impact of the lineup who's going out there and scoring 1 run.
Sure, but Connor mentioned earlier where you're like, well, if they give up 3 runs, you just feel like the game's over. The fact that once they've given up those 3 runs, you have the rest of these guys that are probably going to give up 4 more coming in, really doesn't help the psyche of a team coming in there being like, well, what the fuck are we going to do? We can't score 9. Like, we can barely muster up 3 or 4, let alone fucking 7 or 8.
What's the psyche or bullpen coming into a 3-run game when we don't score?
Sure. Sure.
Have we scored in the first inning yet?
Nope. We have it was like 26 games ago.
26. Yeah, we got a franchise record, 26 straight games and counting without scoring a run in the first
But
inning.
Like, who fucking cares? I've seen this a bunch, and at the end of the day, I don't really care. Like, if we scored 19 runs in the second inning every single game and never in any of the other innings, I wouldn't give a fuck. You're still winning.
I just think the thing is, like, your top guys are at the top of your order.
You're getting your 1, 2, 3 guys to the plate guaranteed that inning. You're not getting them to the plate any other time guaranteed.
And you can't score.
I think it just says something with the lineup.
Also, damn near a month, and you haven't scored a run in the first inning. Like, just regardless of who's up there,
it's weird.
Like, start on time.
That's our better guys right now in Davis and Jano, which is strange.
And Vlad.
Yeah.
It's been Davis, Jano, Vlad, and they haven't got a run.
The Jays are tied for 8th last in OPS right now.
I want to say it was a lot worse before the White Sox series too.
I thought it was worse than it is. But like, the teams we are ahead of are not good. Like, we are among teams that are dog shit. Like, the Cardinals obviously tie with us. Then we got the A's, the Rays, the Mariners, the Nats, the Pirates, the Marlins, the White Sox. There's some bad teams.
Should the Mariners?
Yeah, Mariners.
Yeah, and they're leading their division.
Mariners have a 664 OPS, and they fired their offensive coordinator.
Oh my!
Their pitching is nuts though. They've got like
we don't have that.
I forget how many innings scoreless streak. They've got like 22 straight starts with a starter going at least 5+. Like,
I don't know how to do bullpen stats, and that's always been an Achilles heel of mine.
Achilles heel.
I definitely mispronounced that. I was looking for heel.
Luis?
We have you know what's funny? As a staff, we have the 8th worst ERA. So we're just the 8th worst team in baseball. That's what we can just kind of take away from this. The teams below us, the Rays.
Let's guess.
Okay, sorry, I said the Rays already.
Okay.
Rays, White Sox.
Yep.
A's.
No.
Rockies.
Yes.
Marlins.
Say Marlins. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Pirates.
No. Their pitching staff's pretty good. They've got Paul Skeens. Did you say the Astros?
Cincy?
No. No.
Oh my god.
We got 3 teams left.
Giants.
Giants are 1.
That's crazy.
It's a little surprising. I didn't think they'd be that bad, especially with
Cards?
Hicks and thingy doing what they're doing. Sorry, what did you say?
Cards.
Nope.
We said the Angels.
You did not say the Angels. The Angels is one of them.
Okay, and they just
Marlins.
One more team. You said the Marlins.
I said Marlins already.
A team that a lot of people thought were going to be pretty good this year. Currently 29-32 in the NL.
Texas.
NL.
NL.
San Diego.
No, but you're in the right division.
Oh, the Diamondbacks?
Diamondbacks. They got a 4-5. We've got a 4-3-2 just ahead of just below the Astros and Athletics.
You want to know the thing that hurts even more? I just looked at the top 5 in team ERA. 1, 4, and 5. The New York Yankees, the Baltimore Orioles, and the Boston Red Sox.
Love it. You'll love to see it.
New York Yankees without Garrett Cole.
Without Garrett Cole at a 2.75 as a team.
We got to do something, man. Whether it's bringing up those 2 kids. Well, I mean, Horowitz isn't a kid anymore, but Elvis and him.
Yeah.
Or you got to go make a move. Like Brent Rooker's been hitting this year. That's another guy. Like,
just do something. Just don't fucking sit with. Just don't let this bullshit marinate. Do something. Like,
that sounds great in theory.
Yeah, but no,
it's just not gonna happen.
Like, you know what sounds amazing in theory? Calling up fucking Chris Getz and saying, "Hey, what do you want for Luis Roberts Jr. and Garrett Gross?"
Yeah, for sure. Sounds like a phenomenal idea.
But you know what else is the likelihood?
It's not out there.
Yeah, you know what else is apparently gonna happen? Bubba Chat's gonna be a guardian according to Jeff Bassett.
Sure.
Sure.
Like, I don't know. I don't even have words to talk about this team anymore. Like, there's so many things wrong, and I just don't know how to make it better. One thing I do want to say, I don't think any of this is John Schneider's fault.
No, it's not. And that's back to the Ross Atkins part. Like, I don't think he's got much more run. He's on his 3rd manager. Granted, he inherited Gibby.
Yeah.
But he brought in Charlie Montoyo, who seemed
didn't do it either.
But seemed like a very strange fit.
He was good for them when they were rebuilding with like just the kids.
Yeah.
But he was still there through all like 21 and half of 22, and you're like, this is something's not fitting here. Like,
I think the team likes John too. Like, I think I don't see a scenario where he gets fired mid-season.
No.
I think the next guy to get fired, if anyone, is going to be Ross. And then you let the next guy decide. Go for it.
Don Mattingly.
Sure. But that's also, I think, partly John's decision.
Don't let the fucking door hit you on the way
I don't know.
out, man. I'm sick of
I'm with you. If I'm in charge, I would clean house on that offensive group. And I don't even know if they're the problem.
I don't know if I'd clean house on them.
I think I'd be done with Guillermo. I'd be done with Don Mattingly. I would let Matt Haig take the role.
That's the crazy thing. We haven't heard or said the words Guillermo Martinez in like what feels like a year.
No, because John Mattingly decided I'm going to take the arrows for him,
and they became worse.
Mm-hmm.
I think, at least going back to the manager conversation for a second, I forget who brought this up the other day. Look at the AL East.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the managers in the AL East. Brandon Hyde. He was there through that entire rebuild, and he earned the right to stay and work through it because he's done a good job.
Sure.
Kevin Cash, been there forever.
Kevin Cash, one of the best managers in baseball.
Got to be on 10 to 12 years by now. Cora served that suspension, but he's been the guy
for years.
Like, he got fired and went back. In Boone, yeah.
Boone's been fired 19 times by Yankees fans, but he's still there sticking it out.
It makes AOCSs.
I think there's something to be said for like having a guy in place. Like, I don't know what more you want from John. It's not John's fault that Bo's not hitting.
No.
Bo's 70 points.
I think that's what
career average
brings this team around. Like, look at 23 or no 22
when Bo
was cold, but then he turned it on and like he kind of propelled us into the playoffs there. Like that's what we need, but we need it now.
Yeah. Bo batting, but even then 2022 cold Bo was still batting 260. This Bo's batting like 220. Like
yes, it's not on John Schneider to figure out why these guys are a shell of themselves,
because it's a collaborative effort.
Maybe it's time to shake that up again. Like move Bo down in the order again. Farther.
Worked for George.
Bring IKF back up.
Yeah.
Like
throw
IKF 2 and Jano 4.
Fuck it. Like
I don't know what it is, but this isn't the answer, and it is getting almost impossible for me to watch this team.
Yeah, man, I'm just gonna be full transparency. I'm probably not watching tonight's game. Like
I'm still gonna watch it because I'm cynical and I just want to. It's baseball. There's 162 games a year, and I only get to watch them for a section of the year. I'm gonna continue to do it.
Yeah,
but me, who's arguably the most positive guy on the Blue Jays almost every year on this podcast, I'm getting to the point where I'm like, I can't stand watching this team, and that's saying a lot.
Yeah,
like
that is saying a lot for you. Like you're Mr. You've been to like 10 games this year. It feels like.
I think it's 11, but I went on the road for 3 of them. I think it actually might be more than that, but it's I love watching this team regardless of when they're bad or man. We watched this team be bad for how long?
20 years.
Like they were never good.
30, damn near 30 years.
Yeah, that's not true.
They had good records, but
you look at those teams, and in today's playoff structure, they were probably in the playoffs quite a few times.
But there was a lot of really bad teams mixed in there as well. Like a lot of mid-level teams that we fucking watched 2017
and 2018
be like a 68 win team. Like we saw a lot of this. 2012 was also really bad.
Other than 17, 18, they always had people to go to the park and watch. And right now, I don't think you do.
Davis.
Davis is
fun.
Davis is fun.
Yeah, he's fun, but he's not Delgado, Bautista, Encarnacion. Like, and Vlad's not that right now either. So you don't have the guy who can change the game on his own.
No, you don't
right now. And I don't know. I think we got to move off the Jays here, boys.
Yeah. No, before we do get off, because we didn't really cover it enough, and I think we should give ourselves a pat on the back a little bit here with the Vladimir Guerrero Jr. playing third base thing.
Oh, yeah. We fully spoke that into
existence. I didn't watch last night. Did he get many plays? How did he look?
He looked great. He had like 3 or 4 routine ground balls that he just picked and zipped over while the guy was like 15, like maybe 5 steps out of the box.
That play he made, was it Sunday or Monday?
Against the Pirates?
Back into the hole. That was amazing.
Nasty. He looks good. Which is kind of what we thought was going to happen. Like the stuff that he was doing well on first base is translating to third base.
Yeah.
Which this is a good sign because we talked about in our group chat, like it is easier to go pick up a first baseman if this team can get back in it. And there's a first baseman who is probably going to be on the market that could add a lot of thump to this lineup because
if you really wanted to do it.
I think Pete Alonso would be a great 4-hitter in this lineup right now.
He's a lot of what you're missing. And it doesn't even have to be a first baseman per se, but you could go get a DH and use one of your 2 DHs that you have now on first. Like you can get a guy that just isn't good at defense and just put him in the DH spot and just a bat that can rake.
It's crazy that Vlad moving to third was for the sake of offense, and they barely score when he's in the game on third base.
It's nuts, man. I don't get it.
Oh man. Okay, I don't have anything in my bookmarks for Jays related stuff, so let's fucking leave.
Connor, your favorite segment.
I didn't update this at all, so I'm going to be completely transparent. All I know is White Sox haven't won since I looked at this last, so they're 15-45.
They haven't won since they beat us, right?
Yeah.
Nice.
They're on pace for the worst record ever, I think. Are they not?
Are they officially on pace now?
I believe so.
Good. Tough bet, Connor.
I know.
Can we talk about the White Sox for a second?
Sure.
Yeah, sure. What's up?
Because I think there was an interesting play Monday.
Oh,
yeah.
My boy.
So
he's fighting him.
I'm curious to know your thoughts on the whole Tommy Pham incident, Connor.
Okay. Do you want my funny opinion or my serious opinion? Because it's very 2 drastically different things.
Serious first, then funny.
Okay. Serious. Tommy Pham, he gave you the entire fucking lane to slide and you went on the grass. What the fuck are you doing?
Where are you sliding?
But also, William Contreras, why are you big dogging Tommy Pham, who we know is not afraid to punch
your day up?
He'll knock your shit, dude.
Yes, I think in that situation you're just hyped. You just throw it at the plate.
Great play.
Yeah, but you don't.
I don't really have anything wrong with what Contreras did.
It's just funny. You looked at him dead in the eyes and went, "What's up?" Don't do that. Why?
Also, I think part of that is the fact that he gave him the entire outside of the plate, and he
just wanted to run him over,
slide directly into you.
Yeah. I think,
which I didn't understand. That was my problem with the play. And if I'm Pham in that situation, he blamed the third base coach for sending him, which to be fair, it's not his call. If the third base coach says go, you go.
Yeah.
I'm rewatching the play, and Tommy Pham going to the outfield is doing shadow boxing and shit, and then looks at the dugout and he's like, "Yo, you want no problem."
That's what I kind of wanted to get to, because that is the cringiest thing I've ever seen. I get that he's tough and I get he'd fuck his day up, but what are you doing here, man? It wasn't even a play that Contreras wanted to smoke. He's just pumped that they got the out, and you're sitting here yeah, I'll fucking kick this guy. Your team sucks. You're doing nothing. You made a dumbass play. Just take it on the chin and go to the outfield, dude. What are you doing?
I don't understand the line he took.
No.
They were trying to explain it on FT. I think Brzezinski was trying to explain it. It didn't make sense to me. I don't know why that's the line you choose to take.
The inside line.
Do the full-on sprint down the line and headfirst dive for the corner of the plate, and he's got to come across, and maybe you get in there. He's 2 feet inside the foul line.
But also,
it's just a very strange.
the Brewers
I don't have a problem with it. People are saying Tommy Pham's a fake tough guy apparently on Twitter. I didn't see that. That's not true. Tommy Pham is very tough. You don't want to fuck with him.
Tommy Pham will fuck you up.
But I just don't understand the logic of the lane he took and trying to make contact with Contreras.
Yeah.
Okay, so I just want to shout out Brewers manager Pat Murphy in this situation because he had the best quote of the entire thing. He said, quote, "Tommy is just trying to say, I love your team. I would like to play for it." Which is very true. Let's be honest here. Tommy Pham will not be a White Sox in a month and a half. And fuck it. Go do whatever. But on a real shit, Tommy Pham. Why, man?
Why is it always Tommy Pham?
Hey, fantasy leagues and fighting is just Tommy Pham's thing.
Yeah.
But like we said before, the White Sox are willing to listen on offers for Luis Robert Jr. and Garrett Crochet.
If I'm 22 teams in the majors that go knock on the door and see what they're thinking.
Apparently, the Padres want Crochet.
Sure.
Like,
why wouldn't you?
That's what I'm saying.
What
Crochet,
is he, 25?
He's 24, and he has 2 more years after this.
Yeah. Why wouldn't you?
And Robert, I know Robert's 26, and he has 3 or 4 more years of team control.
Yeah.
So,
he's got options too.
Yeah, they both do. So, like, man,
it's just I don't have much to
say
on this.
I think we have the prospect capital to make that.
No, we don't. Well, it's the White Sox. What are they really asking for?
I mean, did you see what they got for Dylan Cease?
No.
Yeah, the Yankees like top pitching prospect for Dylan Cease.
Well, they can have Tiedemann if they want.
A year and a bit of Dylan Cease.
Yeah.
Like,
sure.
To be fair, I don't think Luis Robert has ever been what Dylan Cease has been.
I mean, 2023 Luis Robert.
He was really good last year.
That's great. Dylan Cease was a top. I think he was number 2 Cy Young.
He was number 2 in Cy Young, yeah, but in front of Manoah and behind Verlander. But like,
move on
what else
from the
we
White
got
Sox
here?
because I want to talk. I didn't realize Eddie Julian was A, struggling, and B, got sent down.
Yeah,
he's been struggling big time. I didn't realize he got sent down.
Yeah, Eddie Julian and Spencer Torkelson both got sent down kind of in the same day. Like,
well, it was the same day.
I think it was like a day apart at most.
Okay.
Like,
I didn't hear. I knew Torque, which is also odd, and it's so wild to see because he was so good at the end of last year.
Also, you put out that thing with the amount of doubles since doubles leader since David Schneider's debut. And Torkelson was
2.
there. Torkelson was 2.
Yeah, he's been bad.
He's so bad this year, but
like
the fact that he's leading that or second in that list and still managed to be bad enough to get sent down this year is crazy.
He's like a top 10 worst WAR in the league.
It's a big miss on the Tigers is what it's looking like right now. Like that was supposed to be a franchise changing bat.
Yeah.
And
he just hasn't been.
He doesn't look like it.
No.
Yeah, he's a career 218 hitter. Like,
not good. Do you guys got much more to say on those? Because
there's
a headline underneath the Julian tweet. It's like a Discover More thing on Twitter there. And it says Pirates Skeens excited to face Ohtani. And then in quotes it says grew up watching him.
I mean,
see the grew up watching Ohtani thing already.
I mean, Skeens is like what, 23, 24?
It's kind of weird.
He's a SoCal kid. He was at Shohei's pitching debut at Angel Stadium.
Yeah.
It's just funny to see a guy in the majors right now growing up watching Shohei Ohtani. Like, it just doesn't seem like he's been around long enough for that.
Well, yeah, just quickly, Eddie Julian, 207.
Really?
It's batting 207.
What's his OPS rate?
676.
It's not good.
Yeah.
And the Twins have been good enough that
he also really only plays against right-handed pitching. He can't platoon, he can't hit lefties to save his life. So also Royce Lewis is back. That's kind of why he's back now, and he hit a bomb in the first game he came back.
I have both these guys on my fantasy team, and I didn't know either of these things that happened.
Wow.
I want Royce Lewis to succeed so bad, but he just can't stay healthy.
He was my dark horse MVP pick, and I believed it. Like,
if he could stay healthy, I could see it.
The caveat being health. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just that's such a big thing for him.
Mm-hmm.
We have a long list of injuries again.
Yes. We could just go through this real quick. There's 8 pitchers injured.
1, 2, 3,
Yikes.
4, 5, 6, 7. Wow, actually, yeah.
And if you include Manoah, it's 9.
So I'll just go with these. John Means, Tyler Wells, Christian Javier, and Jose Urquidy, all done for the year. So
Wells is too? I thought.
Yeah, Means and Wells.
I didn't know Means was done.
Means and Wells are done.
Got Tommy John the other day.
Oh, really? I knew Javier. Was Javier Tommy John as well?
Urquidy was.
I think
Javier, I'm not sure.
Javier was it was some obviously Tommy John for Javier. Which, can we just quickly talk about something? This is the one time I'll ever kind of agree with what Talking Jake said.
Mm-hmm.
The Jays are 3 games ahead of the Astros in the standings, and we haven't heard a peep about the Astros trading anybody.
Yeah,
it's been where Bo and Vlad going for the last
true.
Like
all season, it feels like we're taking a lot of heat, and the Astros are just like, well, they'll figure it out.
Well, Bregman and Tucker.
Difference is they're the same amount of games out of the division as the wild card, I believe. That division's not great right now.
That's
yeah, it's just like, damn.
But I mean, at the end of the day, who cares where you finish in the regular season if you get in?
Yeah.
I was thinking this the other day. You can win the World Series going 4 games over 500 in the playoffs. That's all you got to do. So it doesn't matter if you get in as the third wild card or the best team in the majors. You can win it by being terribly mid.
Yep. Other news: Blake Snell back on the IL. This time with a groin strain. So that signing is sucked.
Yeah, it's a tough bounce. I mean, this is exactly what you expected, though.
Yeah.
It's a year after his Cy Young.
Yeah. And then on the Padres, geez, a lot of West shit. A lot of just West shit. The Padres placed Yu Darvish and Joe Musgrove on the IL. Musgrove was elbow inflammation, and Darvish was a groin strain. So,
you see the humor in that one?
Wait,
the elbow from one of them and the groin from the other one. It's just never mind. You either see it or you don't see it.
Way over my head.
I got
that
it.
one. Okay.
Saw someone tweet that out and they're like, it's kind of funny.
Okay. Gotta know. All right. And lastly, Zach Gallen with a right hamstring strain. So injuries galore.
Big names on this week's.
Seriously, this is probably, I think this is the biggest set of names we've had.
For a week, yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
But the smallest name here is Tyler Wells.
Mm-hmm.
And who was really good like last year or the year before. But
we buried the lead.
We potentially. I mean, before we even get into this one, we can just quickly say Ipe pled guilty. He could face a maximum of 33 years in prison.
He won't, but he could.
He could. But oh boy.
This one's a little, speaking of gambling. Tuca Pita Marcano. Gotta be the dumbest guy since what's his name in the NBA there?
Dante Porter?
Yeah.
Do you want to hear the numbers? Because I pulled it up. There were numbers for all like 5 of the guys they suspended. But here's what I got. Here's his gambling breakdown. From October 16th, 22 to November 1st, 23. He placed 387 baseball-related bets, totaling over $150,000. 237, or no. Oh, yes, baseball-related bets. Okay, that confused me for a second. 231 of 387 were on MLB games for $87,000.
He won 4.3%.
25 of those 231 were on the Pirates.
Didn't win a single one.
Didn't win a single fucking
Didn't win a single Pirates bet.
I didn't hear that, but he won 4.3%.
Yeah. Every single Pirates bet that he placed lost. Every single one. He was probably betting on his own stats, if we're being honest.
With his 589 career OPS.
He's fucking terrible.
Bro should have taken, I mean, I guess all the power to him if he was trying to make more money on himself doing well. Sure. I mean, I think that should be legal. You should try to, sure, if you want to bet on yourself to do good, you should be able to do that, maybe.
Sure.
Also, a bunch of these were on when he was on the IL, too. Like 25 of them were when he was on the IL. So,
I want to try and find the one tweet because it listed everybody and like what they bet and what they lost.
I have the Robert Murray.
There's one from, I want to say it was Boob, but
yeah, that's the one I was looking for.
Yeah, it was Boob. So my favorite one was what's Groom's first name? Does he have a first name?
Jay.
So Jay Groom bet $453.74 and lost $433.54. This guy basically came out with $20. That's it. That's the only thing he didn't lose.
I don't understand how the minor league guys get a 1-year ban and Marcano gets a lifetime ban.
I was also wondering that. Like, if they all bet on baseball, then they bet on baseball.
Is it the money amount? Like,
that's what I was thinking, but like, you shouldn't
all
be.
of these are under $1,000 for the other guys. Like,
yeah, which I get it, but it's essentially just like, we caught you early enough, we're not going to ban you for life.
Yeah.
Whereas Marcano, they waited until he was way in debt.
Till he was Ipe levels deep.
Yeah.
Like,
That's crazy.
Michael Kelly's the funniest one to me because he bet $99.22 on MLB games.
Yeah, what an idiot.
An average bet of $9.92. Only five of the MLB game bet and had a net win of $28. So homie, and apparently he was scheduled to make $750,000 this year. So you lost $750,000 over $28.
Shout out to all 5 of these guys because they do show it's really hard to gamble.
Yeah,
even if you're in the league, it's not easy to make money betting on sports.
But they should have known when to hold them and when to fold them.
They did not.
And when to walk away.
They missed all 3 of those things.
Yeah.
Well, boys, is that it?
I think that's it.
I actually think it is. Like, this is a sad ass episode.
Did we say anything positive in this whole episode?
We pat ourselves on the back for Vlad, and that's about it. And Trevor Richards. Like, do I have anything? Like, just well, it's not even positive. That's bad. According to RJ Anderson of CBS Sports MLB, the A's have requested to play nearly 10% of future home games away from their new Las Vegas stadium. Athletics president Dave Cavallo claims neutral site games will help build the team's brand and attract new players and sponsors.
I hate it here.
Yeah, man. That's sorry. I'm attempting positive. And then just another sad thing. Top prospect for the Milwaukee Brewers, Robert Gasser, is probably done for the year.
Yeah, that was brutal.
Like,
he'd been good too.
Yeah. Is there anything like
All-Star voting open today?
Yeah. I
get out there and vote for your terrible Blue Jays guys.
Vote for your
Schneider
Blue Jay.
I'd say 2, maybe 3.
Oh, I voted for 3.
At 3, I'm going Vlad, Jano, and Davis. Like,
none of them really deserve it, but
I'm gonna vote the maximum times I can a day for all of them.
Me too. Jano's got a chance. I think Jano's stats are only worse than
Adley, maybe.
Honestly, they're not even really worse than Adley. They're worse than South, which is crazy. But maybe not B war or F war wise because South can't defend worth a shit. But offensively, his numbers are like only worse than his. So Jano's got a shot. Davis is just fun, so I think we're gonna find a way to get him in. And Vlad, a lot of bad first basemen this year, so Vlad's got a chance. Thanks for listening. Sorry for listening. I think is probably a better one on this episode. Maybe we'll have a better week. Who fucking knows? Cheers.
Okay.